Hey, welcome back, viewer. I've got another video from Sean's Garage. And what I'm going to show you is a clip here. It's from Colin Noir? Colin Noir? Not sure how to say that. His channel, and titled Mayor Says If You Own a Gun, You Should Be Ashamed of Yourself. Let's see what this mayor has to say, and then I'm going to do some comment on it.
I really do.
So the mayor of Grand Rapids in Michigan, David LaGrande, just said if you own a gun, you should be ashamed of yourself. Listen to this shit.
Nobody gardens with a gun, right? Nobody changes their tire with a gun. What they're for is killing human beings. And so it's really hard. I think as a community, we have to start having some shaming around gun possession. I think if you've got a gun, you should be ashamed of yourself. I really do. Now, I'm sorry, that's going to be the soundbite of the night, and the NRA is going to be mad at me. But, I get that we got a Second Amendment. I get it. But, you also should be ashamed of yourself if you smoke. That's not against the law. I think if you own a gun, you should be ashamed of yourself. And you should really do some self-reflection.
Okay, so let's go over some points here. First and foremost, he's saying that you should be ashamed of yourself if you're a gun owner. Now, he acknowledges that we have a Second Amendment. Obviously, he clearly must hate the Second Amendment. He doesn't want it. It's hard to wrap my head around the thought processes of a tyrant. The thought processes of somebody who doesn't get the Second Amendment, holds power, he's a mayor, and wants people to be disarmed. So with that comes the belief that only the power, that only the government should have the power to harm, the power to commit violence, the power to defend life, that responsibility, the responsibility for you and me and anyone to protect oneself and take care of oneself belongs to them, belongs to the state, belongs to the government rather than to yourself, which is a whole lot of power and responsibility that they cannot possibly achieve because, well, you can't have someone around you all the time to protect you. And so at the same time it would require a totalitarian spying state that has control over everything in order to truly enact that, which of course doesn't deal with, then you've got the sort of state that you'd have a Second Amendment to begin with that you would want to overthrow because it would be tyrannical and oppressive. It's like a maniacal mindset. It's an evil mindset that desires to disarm people. I don't get it. It's a shameful mindset. But he's saying that gun owners should be ashamed. Let's go back here.
Right? Nobody changes their tire with a gun.
So he says that people don't do like day-to-day activities with a gun.
Listen to this shit.
Nobody gardens with a gun, right? Nobody changes their tire with a gun.
So he's saying that because many people don't do day-to-day activities with a gun, therefore you should be ashamed of yourself for having a gun, for owning guns, wanting a gun, because there are everyday tasks where in all likelihood you can probably do it fine depending on where you live and how safe it is. Now, if you're changing your tire in the ghetto, you probably should do it while carrying a gun because someone might walk up to you and try to rob you, draw a gun on you, do something harmful to you while you're in a very vulnerable position, changing the tire. Or if you're off the side of the road somewhere and need to change a tire, and a car could pull over and someone who means to do you harm could get out and approach you. So absolutely there's circumstances where you should be able to defend yourself in those sort of situations. And of course, there are people who carry guns in these sort of situations. I've got a lifetime carry permit. I've carried guns all over the place. Like, you don't know when you're going to need the gun. You don't know when the crime is going to happen or not. Are you kidding me? It's so stupid. It's so naive. And does he really believe this? Because he probably has police to protect him. He probably has security to protect him. Like, I want this for you. For the little people, you should be ashamed of being armed. But for me, I'll have the police. I'll have people to protect me, of course, and they'll have guns, and they don't have anything to be ashamed about because the state having fire. Unless we're talking about defund the police and get rid of incarceration, and the criminals should just be flowing and doing whatever we want, then the police are bad. But when we're talking about guns, then guns in the hands of the racist, oppressive, systemically oppressive police, then that's a good thing because they're protecting him. They're protecting Mr. Liberal Mayor Man. But if you want a gun to protect yourself, then you should be ashamed of yourself. Go have tolerance. I thought shaming people was bad. I thought judging people was bad. What happened to that? See, it never really went away because the left loves to judge. The left loves to proselytize their beliefs and shove their beliefs on other people and judge people for not upholding their radical left-wing, new age, Marxist CRT beliefs. They love it. And they love to shame for it and cancel for it. And this stuff never went away. Religiosity never really went away. These people grew up, hated Christianity, and then turned the new religion of the world, which is the woke leftism. And then engage in the same sort of proselytizing, become passionate proselytizers of their new religion. And shame is part of that. And I think shame does have a role in society because it helps keep society helps keep society on the rails. There should be things that are normal, things that are considered not normal, things that are considered not normal should at a societal level be shamed. They should be regarded like that. Now, of course, there could be levels and degrees of that, but have some sense of like, ooh, like that's not so good. And that people are going to do that. Societies are going to do that. Obviously, the left is trying to reshape what those values and norms are for society. They want to reshape what is shamed. In America, you should be proud to own a gun. You should desire to own a gun. I think anybody competent should have a gun. I mean, the leftists want free healthcare for everybody. Maybe everybody should have a right to like one free government paid for gun and a certain amount of ammunition as part of their constitutional right. Like that would be the left-wing perspective on gun ownership would be that like this is a constitutional right, so you should deserve some free stuff because of it. Everybody should get a free AR-15 and a free Colt 1911 paid for by the government and the taxpayer. That would be socialized Second Amendment. You'd be proud of it, and gun ranges should be something that's just part of the culture. They could be built into like being a part of like schools, like that would just be a part of the school. And so learning to shoot and learning gun safety would just be part of the school curriculum. Not having the gun ranges, I mean, but like training them to shoot. Why doesn't the left support that? It's part of the Constitution. They say, and when it's convenient, that they support the Constitution. But this guy obviously hates the Second Amendment. I don't think you should be able to hold office in America and so openly be able to speak against basic constitutional rights. Like this should get him removed. He's obviously speaking against one of our foundational rights. If he was talking about this, if you like speak freely about your faith, let's say your religion, and you tell other people about it, then that you should be ashamed of that. And it's like, oh well, you got a First Amendment, but you know what? If you actually use your First Amendment, you should be ashamed of that. Can you imagine? Because that's what he's saying about the Second Amendment here. Can you imagine a politician saying that? Should be run out of town. Him and Kathy Hochul say off to Cuba with you, off to North Korea, off to socialist land. Go away. You don't represent American values. You don't represent the values of this nation. You've gone somewhere. Value-wise, you're somewhere else. And if you hate the country, you should leave. You shouldn't be mayor. You should leave. Get out of here. Go away from the land that you hate. Stop trying to, as Obama put it, fundamentally transform our country through shaming us for things that are actually, it's something that makes us unique and better than about any other country in the world, because no other country has a Second Amendment right. No other country enshrines so powerfully our right to defend ourselves. A firearm is the equivalent of a cat having claws to a T-Rex having giant teeth. Human beings are dangerous animals, but we're not dangerous because we got fingernails. We don't have very good teeth for defending ourselves or fighting. We're dangerous because we use our minds to create tools so that we can defend ourselves. And so human beings created firearms and knives and other sorts of weapons, of course, swords and clubs and spears and bows and arrows and all kinds of things that are all protected by the Second Amendment. Because it's not just limited to guns either. Much as liberal blue states love to make it harder to use or carry or acquire other sorts of self-defense weaponry as well. That really shows you what they think, as I've said in other videos, is they don't want you to be armed at all. They don't want you defending yourself. They don't want you harming their criminal constituents. They view it as their authority, their right, and that you're a subject to the state, and it's only the state. If the state decides that the criminal should be let out and that the criminal wants to go ahead and abuse you and commit crimes against you, then for the left, that's the criminal's prerogative to do that. And if the state wants the police to get involved or not, if the state wants to lock that person up again or not, it's entirely just up to the state. You don't have that. You don't have that right to defend yourself and use weaponry to defend yourself. Oh no, that's violence. What did he say? He said something to
what
that
they're for is killing human beings. And so it's really hard. I think as a community, we start...
Guns are for killing human beings. Guns are for killing human... Well, that is one of the use of guns for sure. Cars are for driving around. They can be used to do harm, and they can be used for good things. Guns can be used for target shooting. And guns can be used by police to stop criminals, stop crime. Guns can be used by the military to defend our nation, to fight our enemies. And guns can be used by citizens to fight against tyrannical governments, which is the purpose of the Second Amendment, and to defend ourselves, whether that's from animals or, again, criminals. Whether you're being attacked while you're changing your tire or gardening or grocery shopping. Or just in your home, minding your own business, maybe sitting in your garage making a YouTube video. You don't know when evil is going to strike. And what's good is for evil to not know whether you're armed or not, whether you're able to defend yourself or not. So he's just framing, well, guns just kill. Well, that's such an idiotic take. I mean, what do you even do with that? That's like... Again, there's the hypocrisy. Well, he's all right with others defending him, right? And yeah, guns kill. That's a good reason to have a gun because criminals are willing to use it. So he doesn't think that criminals aren't out there looking for that. Basically, the criminals are the wolves, and they're looking for disarmed, unarmed lambs and sheep to take advantage of. He doesn't think that the potential victims have the right to be able to kill to protect themselves, the evildoer. He's putting the evil and the victim all on the same level. That, well, guns are meant to kill, and therefore, if you're using the gun to kill a bad guy, well, it's all the same thing as if the bad guy killed you. He's essentially putting those things on the same level. just making it all morally equivalent. That if the police kill the bad guy, it's the same thing as a bad guy murdering an innocent victim. That's the implication of his words, right? He's not literally spelling that out, because that would outrage people even more. But that is the implications of what he's saying in the leftist narrative of disarming people and making them defenseless. And this is just a ploy to disarm America because armed America is just harder to overthrow. And the leftists don't like that because we're the most armed place on earth, and there's no military that can touch us. We don't even need the military to defend ourselves because we've got so many guns. That's like cherry on top. We go fight our enemies off in far off lands with our stealth bombers and fleets and stuff, so we don't have to fight them here. We got hundreds of millions of guns here. We could repel any invasion pretty well just based on that. Okay, so, I mean, I don't know. What do you think about this guy making these comments? He's saying that you should be ashamed. I think he should be ashamed. I think that people who want to disarm you are wolves in sheep's clothing. They're either incredibly naive, they just focus on the evils that guns do. They're totally oblivious to how often people being armed stop crime, that people defend themselves, that whether that's brandishing the weapon or whether that's actively stopping a criminal because they were armed. And the obvious fact that whenever there's evil happening, it's people with guns that stop it. It's police with guns that stop it. Okay? It takes arms to stop it, and arms are a great equalizer, especially if you're a woman, if you're petite, if you're disabled, if there's some reason. Like, nobody should have to get into a physical fight to defend themselves. Nobody has a right to just beat you up, pull a knife on you, criminalize, commit violence against you. A gun is the thing that equalizes you or even gives you the advantage. And this guy thinks you should be ashamed of that. He should be ashamed. Wherever he's mayor of, they should run him out of town. That should be like, okay, you spoke against the Constitution. That's your resignation. Bye-bye. Okay? It's shameful. I got nothing else. It disgusts me. Go forth and love your enemy anyway. This guy who wants to shame you and disarm you is an enemy of American values, of the Second Amendment, of Americans who want to hold on to their rights. And as a Christian, we can pray for him and strive to love such people anyway, even as they desire to erode our country and disarm us, so that we're just at the behest of the government and criminals. Government and criminals. Those are often so similar things. Anyway, those are my thoughts. Please like and subscribe if you like this kind of thing. And I'll see you next time.